Hello, welcome to my next video. So today I'm going to be answering some questions that my followers have given me to ask the Akashic Records. So I have 6 questions here that I'm going to answer in this video today. If you have any questions that you'd like me to ask the Akashic Records in my next video, please leave a comment. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. So I'm going to do it similarly to my last video, which was the July energy update. I'm going to say a prayer which allows me to raise my vibration up into the dimensions of the records. Once I'm there, I will be able to channel on behalf of the masters and teachers and loved ones of the collective. So we're going to get to hear from a high vibrational, unconditionally loving perspective from the realm where all of the information is kept, okay? The Akasha, the information of our galaxies, universes, all the things. All right. So here I go. Mother God, help me to open my heart, protect me, and guide me away from any fears or resistance. Remove all judgment and allow me to channel the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of all. Remove any obstacles from the connection to and the awareness of the truth. Help me to surrender to truth and allow it to flow through me unhindered. I now request access to the Akashic Records of the collective. Help me to know the collective in the light of the Akashic Records, to see the collective through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the collective have for it. The Akashic Records are now open. Namaste. Okay, so my first question, how do I protect my energy from a narcissist that I have to live with? Okay, so how can someone protect their energy from a narcissist? So first of all, the reason why we typically decide to form relationships with narcissists is if we are somebody who is overly empathetic or someone who has a really big heart. Narcissists typically appear in our life experience to teach us how to, number 1, love ourselves, number 2, boundaries, number 3, self-love. So put ourselves first. Oftentimes, someone will incarnate with a narcissist type parent, and that is their first example of love and protection, depending if it's their mom or their dad, and if their mom or their dad is in the masculine or feminine role. As a baby, we want unconditional love. That is what we seek, and we seek protection and safety. And so if our main caregiver is narcissistic, which is a person who has an inflated opinion about themselves and who, how do I define a narcissist? They're wounded themselves, and they have their own protection mechanisms that they have created, and that often involves putting themselves first to a very extreme degree and twisting reality, twisting things to sort of satisfy only themselves. Narcissists, it is a disorder. A lot of times narcissists will not heal because they don't have the ability to do so, but they are trying to basically take the energy from others. They like the reflection that they get from somebody who is devoted to them, from someone who loves them unconditionally, from someone who, puts them first, and they are using this external world to satisfy their ego and to satisfy their like need for control and power. So narcissists aren't bad people. They are, right? But they're wounded people, and they deep down they are very insecure, and so really a narcissist and an empath is a perfect mirror, because one sees, you know, like they just want to love the other person and they just want to pour their love into them, and that's how they get their inner satisfaction, is from giving love to someone else and seeing that other person light up from the love that they're giving. You know, empaths typically, they might not realize it, but sometimes they can actually be a little bit manipulative, because they're morphing themselves to be what they think the other person wants. And when they do so, they are not being true and authentic to themselves. Whereas narcissists, they also are morphing themselves, but they are doing it in a way where they're going to get that love and that attention and that energy and that affection from the other person. They typically, you know, live a very facade life. They make it look like they have it all together. They make it look like everyone loves them out in public, and then their home life, the people at their home life typically suffer and see this darker side of them that no one else sees, and it can be quite toxic. So how to protect yourself from a narcissist? Number one, gray walling. So not giving them any emotion to sort of latch onto, not having emotional outbursts, not showing them your emotional side, keeping things very short, very simple, very emotionless, nothing that they can use to kind of like manipulate and twist a situation to make you into the bad guy, or to, you know, put all of the energy back on you. So gray walling is a great way to deal with a narcissist until you can safely remove yourself from the space with them. In terms of spiritual practices, you know, energy cleanses, energy baths, spending time by yourself, getting really clear on who you are, boundaries. Narcissists do not like boundaries. You know, a lot of times empaths really struggle with narcissists, because narcissists believe the things that they are saying, right? They're twisted. They believe what they're telling you. And so empaths can feel that. So if a narcissist says like, you're trash, an empath is going to be like, whoa, I'm trash, and like feel their energy, if that makes sense. And so how we can protect ourselves from that is we have to do the inner work. We have to do the healing. We have to get clear on who we are, so that what they say doesn't alter our view of ourselves and doesn't mess with our perception of reality. Because ultimately that is what happens, is a narcissist will mess with your intuition and make you question your intuition and make you question your inner self and your inner knowing. So inner healing, boundary work, spending time alone, spending as much time away from them as you can, getting to know yourself really well, gray walling, not giving them any emotions that they can take and twist. And you could also do things like crystals, like creating a crystal grid, setting intentions that you are going to be able to leave this space with the narcissist when the time is right. You know, asking that you learn the lessons you need to learn from this person in a way that is for the highest good. Asking your guides for help, asking your guides for like setting those intentions of like, I'm only going to be in this situation with this person for as long as it serves me. And I trust and know that I made this contract and agreement with this soul for a reason. Typically the reason is to embody deeper self-love. Like ultimately it is to put yourself first and to love yourself wholly, and, you know, not to, give yourself away from other people's emotional reactions, right? And that's a very hard, very long, very arduous task, but it can be done. And so trusting that the relationship is showing up for a reason, but also asking your guides, like, show me what I need to learn so that I can get out of this place. Give me the tools that I need to leave this place when the time is right. Give me the strength to get through until I can. Protecting your space with crystals, with energy grids, you know, having a private space that is just for you, that they can't come into, making that your sacred space, and spending time in there, spending time with yourself and cultivating that relationship with yourself. Okay. Next question. Where is the future of humanity going? It's a big question. Okay, easy question. The future of humanity. Okay, so everybody in the entire galaxy, like I don't even know what, the entire created world. So everything that has been created by source. Ultimately, we are all moving back to the light. So every single being in every single dimension of every single galaxy, ultimately, we are all making our way back to the light. So to keep that super short and simple, the future of humanity is headed towards the light. Earth, since we are all humans on Earth, and so we are all, it's like, imagine Earth as like a body and every human as like a cell in that body. The cells are going to do what the body wants to do. So Earth wants to ascend. Earth wants to get to that higher vibrational field. Earth herself is a spirit. She herself is an entity, a being. She is wanting to ascend. And so all of us here on planet Earth, we don't really have a choice. We are moving towards that ascension and towards that higher timeline. You'll often see a lot of doom and gloom and people kind of like, oh, we have this like AI utopia like thing that's a possibility. That's like not even a possibility. Okay, that's not happening. That's not going to happen. When God said, let there be light, as the Bible would say, but when, one became two and like the worlds were created and we split from one thing into two, light and dark, there were these huge angel beings, these angel bodies. And all of these angel bodies, it's like they split off, right? Okay. So we have all of these angels hanging out together just below like God, and one of the angels, Lucifer, wanted to be God. Okay, so let's think of that as like our ego, like thinking it's God, thinking it knows what's best, thinking it knows what's for the highest good. And so there actually was a war between these angels. And so if you've ever heard of fallen angels, that is sort of what happened is instead of killing Lucifer, God said, let's send him down to the other lower realms and create worlds and let him do it his way. Okay, let him do it from his power hungry, from his like ego control, from his, we'll call it dark way. And so we know things like next dimensions were created, lower things were created, and we all began to be like, humanity was formed, and Lucifer was trying to do it his way. But ultimately, God knew that eventually everybody comes back to the light. Everybody sees, like, there's no other option. We all move back to the light eventually. And so humanity as a whole is moving towards the light, is moving towards this higher consciousness, is moving towards like oneness, because we all split off from one and then we all come back to one. That's one of the universal laws, right? Is like every truth has an equal and opposite truth. The pendulum swings one way and then it swings the other way. We've all split, and ultimately we're all going back there eventually, including Earth, including all the planets. And there has to be darkness in order for there to be light. But as time goes on, there's like a battle of light and dark, we could say, happening in the galaxies, in the higher realms. And the darkness has to exist to show us the light. So even though here on Earth we aren't aware of what's happening in these higher planes, and we aren't aware so much of like these other beings that are all working for the light and bringing Earth back into balance, to be in this balance of darkness and light, we have amnesia here on Earth, so we don't really know what we've been doing as souls, and like we don't know the history, and we don't know the bigger picture. Earth is very cut off from the rest of the galaxy and the other beings in the galaxy because we're very low dimensional. But we are moving to that higher dimension, and you will notice there's going to be more talk of aliens, more talk of outer planet beings. There's going to be a lot more what do they call it, disclosure coming soon, because that's the way that we are headed. Right now, we're just in a period of shadow work. So we're just in a period of like digging out and releasing all that cannot come with us into these higher dimensions and into this next state of frequency. So do not fear with what is going on in the earth right now. It's not forever. It is going to be rough. We might not see, you know, this utopia in our lifetime, but we've come here to help Earth get it. And so that can be kind of hard to grasp sometimes. But ultimately, this is where we are headed as a humanity, is towards the light. Okay, my next question. How do you know when you see an angel number that it's for you? Okay, so angel numbers are just like signs from the universe. And how you know if it's for you is you know, or you don't. You feel it in your body. Now, for angel numbers, different numbers have different resonances and different frequencies. So when you see an angel number, think about, recognize what you are feeling at the time. Recognize what you were just thinking about, what emotions were going through your body, what you like, what was happening. And then pay attention with over time. You'll notice when that specific angel number shows up, what were you thinking? You'll find that you start to create a pattern of what was happening in your body and when that angel number showed up. You can find online what different angel numbers mean, and there are some universal understandings of what the different angel numbers mean. But you get to choose what resonates for you. So if you see 111 and it, like, to me, Jillian, 111 is new beginnings, and that is usually what the number 1 means. So when you are thinking about something and you see a 111, notice what was going on inside you and take that as a sign from the universe. You could see like 1,000 of them in a day, and note if you see like you can really pay attention to if you see repeated angel numbers. So if you see like 4 license plates with 777 on them, okay, like that is a repetitive synchronistic angel number for you. And so over time, it really involves being present and aware in the present moment, because over time you'll be able to recognize that when you see specific numbers, it matches what you're feeling inside and what you were just thinking about. And it's kind of like a little glimmer from the universe, like a little like, okay, yes, you're on the right path, or, oh, don't worry about that, this is the truth, or oh, like align your body and mind and spirit, or oh, like abundance is coming for you. Different numbers mean different things. You also might find that you have a specific number that you just see all the time, like 513. You see 513 everywhere, and that's your number. And so when you see that, it's like a hug from your guides and from your angels. So yes, staying in the present moment and paying attention to how you're feeling when the specific numbers come up for you, and kind of creating your own little like internal dictionary or like internal address book of these numbers. And over time, you'll know when you see a certain one what it means for you specifically. You can also look up what they mean and like choose if that is what resonates for you. But yes, how you can know it's for you is if you see it more than once in a day as well. That's another good way to like really, if you're like really questioning it, to really lock it in. So I had another question that was kind of similar to that one. How do you know when you see an angel number it's for you? A similar one was with social media algorithms and tarot readings. How do you know if it's for you, or if it's something that's generated around you? Is a message on your feed for you, or a machine telling you what you want to hear? Okay, so with the social media, it's going to be reflecting whatever's going on inside you at the time. So yes and no. Remembering that everything external is a mirror, and that social media is like it's like your own personalized mirror. So if you're really worrying about something, or really working through something, or there's something really going on for you in your life, paying attention to what's popping up on your social media. Sometimes it's going to be messages, sometimes it's going to be reflections, sometimes it's going to be just kind of giving you a hint about where exactly you're at. So yes, like there are no coincidences. So when you see something on social media, it is showing up for a reason. Now, whether that is a reflection of where you're at energetically, or it truly is a divine message for you, that's for you to feel into in your heart. You'll know. This is like connecting with that inner yes, that inner no, that intuition feeling, that resonance feeling. And if it feels good and it feels like it's for you, amazing. If it feels like it's a warning or a message, or it really like reflects something that you've been working through lately, pay attention to that as well. You will find that whatever you're vibrating at, whatever you're going through, you're going to be seeing that showing up on your social media. And so it's not a machine like trying to please you, so to speak. I mean, yes, the machine does try to please you, okay? So like that's real. Like it is gonna like notice what you like, notice what's going on, and like give you glimpses of that. But also, whatever your vibration is, you're going to be reflecting that. So if you are seeing something that is reflective of what you've been working on, or is a message that feels like it's for you, then it's for you. And if it doesn't feel like it's for you, then it's not for you. Okay, my next question: how can the collective best help each other rise to unconditional love? How can the collective best help each other rise to unconditional love? Okay, fairly simple actually. Do your healing. Focus on you. Do your healing. And when you focus on you, you're also going to learn relationships better. You're going to learn boundaries better. You're going to learn where you have energy to give. You're going to learn where you have resources, and you're going to learn how to, interact with other humans in a healthy way. But it all starts with you. If every single human on the planet right now focused on their inner healing, the world would be an entirely different place, because whatever's going on inside you is what's going to be reflected into the external. And so if you are healed and you are seeing the world through a healed lens, the world is going to start to appear that way. Now, if every single human did that, there would be no more wars, there would be no more famine, there would be no more suffering. There would be like utopia, because all humans would be operating as who they really are, living in their purpose, living in unconditional love, seeing other people as reflections of themselves. Like the world would be an entirely different place if every single human really focused on healing their trauma, healing things from the past, healing their beliefs, healing their conditioning, all the things that humans like that those who are kind of on the path are doing. If all humans were functioning like that and were focusing on their healing, then the collective would be in an entirely different place. And so right now we're moving more towards that. More and more people are waking up. More and more people are recognizing their power, recognizing they're a sovereign being, unplugging from the propaganda, unplugging from like the mind control that happens, like what is fed to people to make them believe certain things. There's a whole lot of propaganda and things that are force-fed down people's throat to make them have beliefs because they're not aware enough to recognize that they're having these beliefs that aren't even really their own. This goes so deep. This is ingrained in the patriarchy, in the media, in the governments, in so many layers, in like health, in food, in health things, in pharmacy. Like there's so many layers to this where people are told something, and instead of trusting their own self and trusting their own intuition and becoming a sovereign being, they are living through these frequencies of energy and these beliefs and these beliefs, like lies that they're being told, and they don't even know that that's happening. They don't even know what they don't know. And so if every human that has the ability to be awake right now focuses on their own inner work, it's going to automatically ripple out into all of their close friends, into all of their family, etc., etc. The ripple effect is real. That is why certain souls have chosen to wake up in this lifetime, and that is the direction that we are headed. not everyone is awake in this lifetime, because not everyone's meant to be awake in this lifetime. And we can't change people. We can't make other people wake up. We can only focus on ourselves and our healing, and trust that what we're doing is enough, and that it's going to ripple out into the collective. And those who are meant to wake up in this lifetime will, in their own way and in their own time. And we really only have power and control over ourselves. So if we focus on that individually, then we are going to be able to help the collective. Okay, my last question from my followers is an anchor soul a thing? Similar or different to soulmates or twin flames? Okay. Is an anchor soul a thing? So what I'm getting right away is like this ground. It's almost like a cord, like pulling you, grounding you down to earth, like a bringing you down. So an anchor soul, it would be a soulmate. So it would be a person who has been chosen by you, or you and that person have made the agreement to be like a grounding, stable force in your life. So it would be a soulmate. It wouldn't be a twin flame. It would be a person, like a soul that you have agreed with, so that you probably knew already before you came down to earth, where you agreed that that person is going to be like a grounding person for you. They are typically a more grounded soul, a soul who is more practical, more earth-like. Like typically these anchor souls, we'll call them, are not fully awake. Like they're not really in the spiritual realms. They're more in the physical realms. They're more in the physical earthly realms. And it's almost like a soulmate that you would choose, who would, like, if you are someone who is more air, more light, kind of more up in the clouds, more up above, you and that person would make an agreement that they would be the ones that would kind of like keep you grounded, keep you in the physical realm, keep you, doing earthly things, and kind of like bringing your energy down to earth. And at the same time, you would be supplying them with more of that higher vibrational energy, and they would be getting what they need from you as well in this lifetime. It would be like an agreement between the souls. So you'd be giving them, what they need for maybe their next lifetime or another lifetime, where they're going to be working in more of these higher dimensions and kind of understanding spirituality on these higher levels. They are very spiritual souls, but they aren't operating in like a spiritual way. They're operating in a very earthly way, which, those of us who have been on our journey for a long time know that the more spiritual you become, the more grounded and, of earth you become. And so they are a soul that has been assigned to you to help you channel that higher frequency energy down into the earth, and to, become who you were really meant to be in this lifetime on earth, and like enjoy all that earth has to offer. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to ask about, leave a note in the comments. I would love to answer your questions.